Introduction. Are you getting the full benefits of chickpeas? Before you add chickpeas to your daily routine, there's something important you should know. Many people assume that simply eating chickpeas is enough to support healthy bones and overall wellness. But according to nutrition experts, how you prepare them and what foods you pair them with can make a meaningful difference. And that raises an important question. Are you truly getting the most out of this nutrient-dense legume? Let me share the story of a woman named Min Ji, or Mrs. Park, as her neighbors call her, a 68-year-old grandmother living in South Korea, a country globally recognized for its healthy aging and high life expectancy. Like many women of her generation, Mrs. Park spent most of her life putting her family's needs ahead of her own. But as she entered her late 60s, she decided it was finally time to invest in her own health and longevity. During a routine checkup, her doctors were pleasantly surprised. Several of her key health markers looked significantly better than expected for her age. Naturally, they asked Mrs. Park, "What have you been doing differently?" One of the simple habits she had adopted was integrating chickpeas into her traditional meals on a regular basis. Now, to be clear, chickpeas are not a miracle cure. No single food can transform your health overnight. But when they are prepared properly and combined with the right ingredients, they unlock a powerhouse of nutrients that support healthy aging, including clean plant protein, dietary fiber, magnesium, and essential minerals. Mrs. Park's experience reflects a wisdom that many longevity-focused cultures have long understood, that simple, whole foods, combined with the right preparation, can make a profound difference over time. Unfortunately, many people in the West miss out on these full benefits because of a few easily overlooked details. So in today's video, we'll discuss the common mistakes to avoid, simple ways to prepare your chickpeas to maximize nutrient absorption, and the best food combinations to support your bones, heart, and overall vitality as you age. Before you prepare your next serving of chickpeas, stay with me. You're about to discover a few simple habits that could make a meaningful difference for your health in the golden years ahead. Chapter 1. The hidden link between your bones and your heart. Today, I'd like to share what I've learned over more than 40 years of clinical practice. My name is Dr. An Drive Byung-Chul An, and throughout my career, I've had the privilege of caring for countless older adults who wanted nothing more than to stay active, independent, and healthy as they aged. In today's video, we are going to focus on 5 essential topics. First, I'll introduce 3 powerful food combinations that support both your bone health and your cardiovascular system. Second, we'll discuss 4 common dietary mistakes that many people unknowingly make every day. Third, I'll share 5 practical, easy ways to incorporate chickpeas into your daily routine. Fourth, we'll talk about 3 specific situations where extra caution is needed. And finally, I'll give you a simple, 1-week action plan that you can start right away. But before we dive into those details, let's talk about why this truly matters to your daily life. When you wake up in the morning, do your knees or lower back feel stiff? Do you find yourself becoming short of breath more easily when climbing a flight of stairs? Or perhaps you've noticed more aches and discomfort in your joints lately? If any of this sounds familiar, please know that you are certainly not alone. Over the decades, I've noticed that adults over 60 almost always share 2 major health concerns: maintaining strong, reliable bones and protecting the health of their heart and blood vessels. And the truth is, these 2 areas of health are far more closely connected than most people realize. Think of your blood vessels as the complex plumbing system inside a home, and your bones as the structural framework that keeps that home standing tall. Even if you flood your body with the best nutrients for your bones, those nutrients still rely on a healthy, clear circulation system to actually reach the tissues that need them. That is why maintaining both bone health and vascular health becomes increasingly vital as the years go by. Unfortunately, many people focus on just one side of the coin. Some take calcium supplements exclusively for their bones. Others focus almost entirely on cholesterol and heart health. But healthy aging is rarely about a single nutrient or a single organ. Everything in the human body works as one interconnected system: nutrition, circulation, movement, and daily Habits, they all play an essential role. Throughout our lives, many of us spent decades working hard, raising families, and putting everyone else's needs before our own. People of our generation, whether here or across the globe, have so often sacrificed for the sake of our children and loved ones. But this stage of life is your opportunity to finally invest in yourself. To stay strong, to remain fully independent, and to continue enjoying those priceless moments with your children, grandchildren, and dear friends. That is exactly why I wanted to share the insights I've gathered over the past 4 decades. Because today's discussion isn't simply about a legume called the chickpea. It's about supporting your vitality, maintaining your strength, and preserving your quality of life for the golden years ahead. If you remember just one thing from this chapter, let it be this: healthy bones and healthy blood vessels are partners. Supporting one while neglecting the other means you're missing a critical piece of the puzzle. And that is exactly what we are going to explore next. Chapter 2. Why bones and blood vessels become more vulnerable after 60 and the lock and key secret to fixing it. So, what exactly happens to our bodies as we cross the threshold of 60? As a clinician, I often have to share a hard truth with my patients. After age 60, our bodies undergo silent but significant shifts. Our bone density naturally declines, making us more vulnerable to osteoporosis. And our blood vessels lose some of their youthful elasticity, which can lead to stiffer arteries. But here is the good news. There are practical, scientifically proven steps we can take to protect ourselves. According to researchers at Seoul National University, Hospital, one of Asia's leading medical institutions and top experts in healthy aging, chickpeas are one of the everyday whole foods that consistently stand out for supporting overall vitality in our later years. But here is the catch. The real secret is not simply about eating more chickpeas. The much bigger, more critical question is this: how are you eating them? And perhaps even more importantly, what are you pairing them with? Because that specific combination can make a remarkable difference in your health. After more than 4 decades of caring for older adults, I've learned a fundamental truth that nutrition science continues to confirm sometimes. The true value of a food doesn't come from the ingredient alone. It comes from the way different nutrients work together in harmony. In fact, a landmark 2022 study from Yonsei University's Department of Food and Nutrition found that certain food combinations can dramatically improve the body's ability to absorb and utilize the nutrients found in chickpeas. In some cases, the absorption rate of key minerals was reported to be more than twice as high compared to eating chickpeas all by themselves. Think about that for a moment. Many well-meaning people spend their hard-earned money on healthy foods. But if your digestive system cannot effectively absorb those nutrients, much of that wonderful potential benefit is simply lost. This becomes even more critical as we age, and our digestive efficiency naturally slows down. That is why understanding food pairings is so vital. You can think of it like a lock and a key. A key by itself doesn't do very much. A lock by itself doesn't either. But when the right key meets the right lock, they click, and everything works exactly as intended. Nutrition works the exact same way. Certain essential nutrients hidden inside chickpeas become unlocked and far more bioavailable only when they are paired with the right companion foods. And that is the exact scientific principle behind the healthy combinations we are going to look at today. In fact, this was the very reason why the doctors caring for Mrs. Park, the 68-year-old grandmother, whose story we shared earlier, were so pleasantly surprised by her remarkable progress. Her secret wasn't an expensive prescription supplement. It wasn't a complicated, stressful medical treatment. And it certainly wasn't just good luck. It was simply understanding how to combine everyday kitchen staples in a way that allowed her body to make the absolute most of them. And that brings us to the heart of today's discussion. In the next section, I'm going to share 3 simple, delicious food combinations that will help unlock bone strength and support healthy circulation. Sometimes, the most powerful changes for your longevity don't come from a pharmacy. They begin with the simple foods already sitting on your kitchen counter. So, let's take a closer look together. Chapter 3. Golden Combination Number 1: Chickpeas and Black Sesame for Bone Health. Now we've arrived at the first of our 3 healthy combinations. if you are deeply invested in maintaining strong, resilient bones as you age. This is one powerful pairing you absolutely want to remember: chickpeas and black sesame seeds. Before we talk about the ingredients themselves, let's visualize bone health in a very simple way. Imagine building a sturdy house. Concrete alone isn't enough to withstand a storm. Steel reinforcement alone isn't enough, either. You need different materials working together in perfect tandem to create a structure that is both strong and flexible. Our bones work the exact same way. Many people naturally think of calcium the moment they hear the words bone health. And make no mistake, calcium is vital. But your bones also heavily depend on other core nutrients, especially plant-based protein and magnesium, which act like the structural steel, helping your body maintain and repair healthy bone tissue. That is why focusing on a single supplement or nutrient is rarely the whole story. Why chickpeas matter. Chickpeas provide high-quality plant protein, along with essential minerals, including magnesium. Protein supplies the critical building blocks our bodies need to maintain both muscle and bone mass, while magnesium plays a quiet but foundational role in bone metabolism. These nutrients don't work alone, they unlock each other's potential. Why black sesame seeds are special. Now, you might wonder, why black sesame seeds? These tiny seeds may look modest, but they are an absolute nutritional powerhouse. They are exceptionally rich in highly absorbable calcium, magnesium, and other trace minerals that support overall bone density. While black sesame has been revered as a longevity food in traditional Eastern medicine for centuries, modern nutrition science completely backs up its impressive mineral profile. The true beauty of this combination is that each food brings a different piece of the puzzle. Chickpeas provide the clean protein and magnesium. Black sesame seeds add the dense calcium and vital minerals. Together, they create a beautifully balanced, nutrient-rich pairing. Let me share a quick story of a patient of mine, Mrs. Moon, a 67-year-old grandmother. Like many older adults, she had begun experiencing lingering knee discomfort and found climbing the stairs to her bedroom increasingly difficult. She wanted to be proactive about her health, without relying solely on medications. Under my guidance, she began making simple, intentional shifts in her diet. One of her daily habits was adding a handful of steamed chickpeas, topped with freshly ground, roasted black sesame seeds to her meals. She stayed consistent, walked regularly, and focused on this whole food nutrition. A few months later, she happily shared that she felt noticeably stronger and more stable on her feet. She was enjoying her daily walks again and, best of all, keeping up with her energetic grandchildren without that constant joint dread. Of course, no single food is a magic wand. But Mrs. Moon's experience is a beautiful reminder that small, healthy choices made consistently add up to profound changes over time. An easy way to enjoy this combination. The best part is that incorporating this into your daily routine is incredibly simple. Take about a handful of cooked chickpeas, which is roughly 1 ounce, or about 1/4 of a cup. Then, simply add a tablespoon of roasted, ground black sesame seeds. Here are a few quick ways you can enjoy it. Sprinkle it over your morning oatmeal for a nutty flavor. Stir it into plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Mix it into a savory grain bowl or a fresh salad. Enjoy it as a simple side dish alongside your breakfast. Simple foods, simple habits, and as I always tell my patients, sometimes those simple, everyday habits are exactly what paved the way for vibrant, healthy aging. So, that is our first golden combination. Chickpeas and black sesame seeds for total bone support. And coming up next, we are going to talk about another powerful pairing, one that focuses on clearing your blood vessels and boosting your circulation as you grow older. Stay tuned. Chapter 4. Golden Combination Number 2: Chickpeas and Spinach for healthy circulation. Now let's move on to our second golden combination. This one focuses entirely on a topic that is close to the heart of every senior: supporting healthy blood vessels and vibrant circulation as we age. It is the simple pairing of chickpeas and spinach. Earlier, we visualized our blood vessels as the complex plumbing system in a house. Over the decades, that system naturally experiences inevitable wear and tear. That is exactly why maintaining clear, Flexible circulation becomes fundamentally important after the age of 60. So, what truly supports healthy blood vessels? Think of it this way. A healthy circulatory system depends on two things. First, it needs the exact nutrients required to build rich, oxygen-carrying blood. Second, it deeply benefits from compounds that help keep the arterial walls relaxed and flexible. And that is where chickpeas and spinach make such a brilliant scientific pairing. Why chickpeas matter? Chickpeas are an exceptional source of clean plant-based protein, dietary fiber, and iron. Iron plays a critical role in producing hemoglobin, which acts like a delivery truck, carrying vital oxygen throughout your entire body. Furthermore, the soluble fiber found in chickpeas binds to cholesterol in your digestive tract, helping maintain healthy cholesterol levels. However, there is a hidden challenge: the iron found in plant-based foods known as non-heme. Iron is notoriously difficult for the aging body to absorb efficiently on its own. Much of it passes right through us. That is why pairing matters. Why spinach makes a difference. This is where spinach steps in as the perfect partner. Spinach is loaded with vitamin C and potent antioxidants that chemically alter the iron in chickpeas, making it significantly easier for your body to absorb. But it doesn't stop there. Spinach also provides an abundance of potassium, folate, and naturally occurring nitrates. These nitrates are a big deal in medicine. They help your body produce nitric oxide, which naturally relaxes and widens your blood vessels, supporting healthy blood pressure and smooth vascular function. Together, they complement one another beautifully. Chickpeas provide the raw iron and fiber, while spinach acts as the key that unlocks that iron, while delivering its own heart-healthy nutrients. Let me share the story of another patient of mine, Mr. Young, a 71-year-old gentleman. Like many older adults, he came to my clinic, complaining that he was becoming fatigued much more easily, and occasionally felt a wave of lightheadedness during his afternoon walks. After checking his blood work, we decided to focus heavily on his daily nutrition. One of the primary changes he made was incorporating a simple dish of chickpeas and spinach into his meals several times a week. Over the following months, the transformation was inspiring. He noticed a steady return of his daily energy and significantly greater stamina during his walks. He felt encouraged, his circulation improved, and he regained that vital spring in his step. Of course, as a doctor, I must remind you that no single food replaces targeted medical care or prescribed medications. But Mr. Young's journey is proof that small, intentional dietary adjustments can yield a profound difference in how you feel every single day. An easy way to enjoy this combination. Preparing this pairing is incredibly easy, and it actually tastes wonderful. Take a handful of cooked chickpeas and a generous handful of fresh spinach. Here are the best ways to prepare it. Sauté them lightly in a pan with fresh garlic and a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. This is actually a staple technique of the Mediterranean diet, which cardiologists around the world praise for heart longevity. Toss them directly into your favorite warm soups, stews, or chilies during the last few minutes of cooking. Create a refreshing salad. Combine cold, cooked chickpeas with fresh baby spinach, and finish it with a generous squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The extra vitamin C from the lemon will boost that iron absorption even further. Simple, nutritious, and incredibly easy to integrate into your weekly routine. So remember our second golden combination: chickpeas and spinach for healthy circulation and a vibrant heart. And in our next section, we'll look at our third and final pairing, one that targets energy, brain health, and overall cellular vitality as we grow older. Let's keep going. Chapter 5. Golden combination number 3: chickpeas and yogurt for gut health. Now let's move on to our third and final golden combination. This one focuses on a system that modern medicine now considers the absolute epicenter of healthy aging: your gut health. And the pairing is beautifully, elegantly simple. Chickpeas and plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. At first glance, mixing a legume with yogurt might sound a bit unusual to some. But in many Mediterranean cultures famous for their longevity, this combination is a delicious daily staple. As a clinician, I cannot overstate this. Your digestive system plays a far more profound role in your overall vitality. than most people realize. Think of your gut as the foundational slab of your house. Even if the walls are beautifully painted, and the roof is brand new, any cracks in that foundation will eventually compromise the entire structure. In the exact same way, maintaining a thriving gut microbiome supports almost every facet of your well-being, including your immune defense, your daily energy, and even your bone density. Have you been experiencing frequent constipation, uncomfortable bloating, or excessive gas lately? Or perhaps you've noticed that your overall energy levels just aren't what they used to be. These are incredibly common concerns for adults over 60, and they are clear warning signs from your body that your digestive health needs attention. In recent years, researchers have uncovered what we call the gut-bone axis. It turns out that a healthy, balanced gut microbiome directly enhances your body's ability to absorb vital minerals like calcium and magnesium. Without a healthy gut foundation, even the best bone supplements can't do their job properly. Why chickpeas matter. Chickpeas are packed with high-quality dietary fiber. Specifically, they are rich in a unique type of fiber called prebiotics. You can think of prebiotics as premium fertilizer for a beautiful garden. They don't just pass through you. They selectively feed and nourish the good bacteria already living in your digestive tract. Why Greek yogurt complements chickpeas. This is where Greek yogurt comes in. Authentic, unsweetened Greek yogurt is rich in probiotics, which are the live, beneficial bacteria themselves. When you consume prebiotics and probiotics together, you create what nutrition scientists call a symbiotic relationship. One provides the elite army of good bacteria, and the other provides the exact nourishment those bacteria need to thrive and multiply. It is a perfect closed-loop system. Let me share the story of a patient of mine, Mrs. Shin, a 66-year-old grandmother. For years, she quietly struggled with chronic bloating and sluggish digestion that left her feeling drained by the afternoon. Looking to transform her breakfast routine, she adopted a simple habit. I recommended a morning bowl of warm, cooked chickpeas mixed into a cup of rich Greek yogurt to satisfy her sweet tooth. Healthily, she tossed in a handful of fresh blueberries. Within just a few weeks, she came back to my clinic with a bright smile. Her digestion felt incredibly light and comfortable, and that stubborn abdominal bloating was gone. Best of all, she had a steady, sustained stream of energy that lasted throughout the entire day. Again, as a physician, I always remind my patients that everyone's biology is unique, and whole foods work gradually. But Mrs. Shin's success highlights how a small, scientifically backed breakfast choice can fundamentally shift how you feel. An easy way to enjoy this combination. Preparing this longevity bowl couldn't be easier. Simply add a handful of cooked chickpeas to 1 cup of plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. For a boost of flavor and antioxidants, you can top it with a handful of fresh blueberries or sliced strawberries, a few slices of banana, or a tiny drizzle of raw honey. It makes for a perfect, deeply satisfying breakfast, or a refreshing afternoon snack. Quick recap: the 3 golden combinations. Let's do a quick review of the 3 powerful pairings we've uncovered today, so you can decide which one fits your life best. For bone support, chickpeas and black sesame seeds delivering a masterclass in protein, calcium, and magnesium. For healthy circulation, chickpeas and spinach, iron boosting, artery relaxing duo inspired by the Mediterranean diet. For gut health, chickpeas and Greek yogurt, a symbiotic powerhouse that fuels your digestive foundation. The wonderful thing is, you don't have to choose just one. Many of my patients simply rotate these throughout the week, giving their bodies a diverse spectrum of nutrients. But while adding these foods to your kitchen is a magnificent step forward, there is still one critical piece of the puzzle we must address. Because even the healthiest ingredients on earth can completely lose their power if you unknowingly make a few critical errors. In the next chapter, we are going to expose the most common chickpea mistakes and exactly how to avoid them. Let's make sure you're getting 100% of the benefits. Chapter 6. 4 common mistakes people make with chickpeas after 60. So far, we've talked extensively about the wonderful benefits of chickpeas and how the right food combinations can beautifully support healthy aging. But as a doctor, I always remind my patients that there is another side to the story. Even the healthiest foods on earth can cause unexpected issues if they are prepared, stored, or consumed the wrong way. In fact, there are 4 incredibly common mistakes that many older adults unknowingly make with chickpeas. Avoiding these simple missteps will ensure your body gets 100% of the health benefits without any of the discomfort. Let's go through them one by one. Mistake number 1: undercooking dried beans or neglecting to rinse the canned ones. First, let's talk about preparation. If you use dried chickpeas, how long do you usually soak them? If it's only for a few hours, you are not giving them enough time. Raw, dried chickpeas naturally contain anti-nutrients like lectins and phytates. These compounds make digestion incredibly difficult and can actually block your body from absorbing vital minerals. For older adults with a more sensitive gut, undercooked chickpeas are the #1 cause of painful bloating and excessive gas. You must soak them overnight and cook them until they are completely soft. Now, if you prefer the convenience of canned chickpeas, as many of my patients in North America do, there is a different trap. You must never eat them straight out of the can, or use the liquid they are packed in. That liquid is loaded with excess sodium and starches that trigger severe gas. Always pour your canned chickpeas into a colander and rinse them thoroughly under cold running water. This simple step can reduce the sodium content by up to 40%. Mistake number 2: eating too much, too fast. The second mistake is simple portion distortion. Because chickpeas are celebrated for being rich in clean fiber and protein, some people assume that more must always be better. But that is simply not true. As we age, our digestive tract naturally becomes more sensitive and moves a bit slower. Overloading your system with a massive bowl of legumes will lead to severe abdominal discomfort. Furthermore, a critical medical warning for individuals managing chronic kidney disease or reduced kidney function: chickpeas are very high in potassium and phosphorus. Overconsuming them can put a dangerous strain on your kidneys. Moderation is key. For most older adults, a small, safe serving size to start with is just half a cup of cooked chickpeas per day. Mistake number 3: improper storage, the mold trap. The third mistake involves how we store them. While dried chickpeas have a remarkably long shelf life, they are not invincible. Moisture and heat are the ultimate enemies, creating the perfect breeding ground for invisible mold spores. Consuming spoiled or moldy legumes can introduce harmful toxins into an aging immune system. If your dried or cooked chickpeas have even a slightly unusual odor, any discoloration, or a slimy texture, do not hesitate, throw them away immediately. It is simply not worth the biological risk. Always store your dried legumes in a cool, dark pantry in airtight glass or plastic containers. Mistake number 4: falling for the healthy chickpea snack trap. And finally, here is perhaps the most insidious mistake of all. Walk down any grocery store aisle today, and you will see dozens of packaged products like chickpea chips, puffs, and chocolate-covered chickpea snacks marketed as a guilt-free, healthy alternative. Do not let the marketing fool you. Just because a label says it's made from chickpeas does not mean it's good for your health. Many of these highly processed snacks are secretly sodium bombs and are fried in inflammatory, low-quality industrial oils. For older adults keeping a close eye on their blood pressure, cholesterol, or heart health, these snacks can completely derail your hard work. Always take 3 seconds to flip the package over and read the nutrition facts panel. If it's loaded with sodium and preservatives, put it back. Whole, minimally processed chickpeas are always your best medicine. To make sure these stick with you, let's quickly review the 4 mistakes to cross off your list. Failing to soak dried beans thoroughly, or forgetting to rinse canned ones. Eating massive portions that overload your stomach and kidneys. Storing them in humid spots where mold can silently thrive. Assuming processed chickpea snacks are automatically good for your heart. The wonderful news is that these are all incredibly easy mistakes to correct. Once you know what to look out for, chickpeas become a perfectly safe, elite addition to your longevity routine. In our next and final section, I am going to share 5 incredibly practical, delicious ways to safely weave chickpeas into your weekly meals, including a complete 1-week action plan. Stay with me, because this is where we turn knowledge into real-world results. Chapter 7: 5 Simple Ways to Get the Most Out of Chickpeas. Now, after hearing about those 4 common mistakes in our last section, some of you might be quietly asking yourself, "Oh dear, have I been doing some of those things myself?" If so, please don't worry. The beautiful thing about nutrition is that a few minor, simple adjustments can yield massive rewards for your vitality. Chickpeas are an elite medicine from Mother Nature. But just like any therapeutic food, the preparation dictates the results. Today, I want to share 5 deeply practical, doctor-approved tips that will allow you to enjoy chickpeas safely and make them a seamless part of your longevity routine. And the absolute best part? These are simple, everyday kitchen habits that won't cost you a single penny on expensive supplements or fancy specialty products. Tip number 1: the overnight soak for dried beans. First, if you are using dried chickpeas, always soak them before they ever touch a cooking pot. This step is completely non-negotiable. Some people try to cut corners by soaking them for just 2 or 3 hours. But chickpeas possess a remarkably dense, fibrous outer hull that requires time to break down. Ideally, you want to soak them for at least 8 to 12 hours or simply overnight. An effortless routine is to submerge them in a large bowl of cold water right before you go to bed, and they'll be perfectly primed for cooking the next morning. A quick safety tip during the hot summer months: always place your soaking bowl inside the refrigerator to prevent fermentation. This thorough soaking process degrades the anti-nutrients we discussed earlier, radically increasing the food's bioavailability. In other words, your body actually gets to use the nutrients you're swallowing. And remember, if you are using canned chickpeas instead, your version of this step is to pour them into a strainer and rinse them thoroughly under cold, running water to flush away the excess sodium. Tip number 2: cook them until they are pillowy soft. Next, ensure they are cooked completely through. If you are simmering them in a traditional pot, let them roll gently until they become beautifully soft. This typically takes about 40 to 50 minutes. If you have a pressure cooker or an instant pot, you can slice that time in half. Well-cooked chickpeas are incredibly gentle on an aging digestive system, meaning your stomach doesn't have to work overtime. Here is my foolproof clinical test. Take 1 chickpea and press it between your thumb and index finger. If it mashing effortlessly with 0 resistance, it is officially ready for your plate. Tip number 3: the vitamin C synergy. As we learned, chickpeas are loaded with plant-based iron, but our bodies naturally struggle to absorb it efficiently after 60. Fortunately, there is a brilliant culinary trick to solve this. Always pair your chickpeas with foods rich in vitamin C. Introducing vibrant bell peppers, cherry tomatoes, fresh spinach, or a generous squeeze of raw lemon juice acts like a chemical key, transforming that iron into a form your body craves. A crisp chickpea salad tossed with diced cucumbers, tomatoes, and a bright lemon vinaigrette is a perfect example of food synergy. Remember, it's not just what you eat, it's how your foods cooperate that creates real health. Tip number 4: keep your portions intentionally moderate. Another vital principle is simple moderation. Even the most nutritious food on the planet will cause digestive rebellion if you overconsume it. For most adults over 60, a perfectly balanced daily serving is half a cup to 1 full cup of cooked chickpeas. Think of it as roughly 1 single handful. In the journey of healthy aging, consistency is infinitely more powerful than volume. Eating a massive amount all at once will only cause distress, but enjoying a modest half cup a few times a week builds a foundation of long-term wellness. Tip number 5: diversify your plate. Finally, never let healthy eating become a boring chore. The versatility of this little legume is extraordinary. You can throw a handful into your favorite comforting vegetable soups or stews. You can blend them with a touch of olive oil, garlic, and tahini into a creamy, homemade hummus to spread across a piece of warm, whole grain toast for breakfast. Or, you can roast them lightly, with a dash of turmeric and cumin for a savory dinner side. The secret to longevity is finding recipes that you genuinely look forward to eating. Because when healthy food tastes delicious, it effortlessly transforms from a diet into a permanent, sustainable lifestyle habit. Let's do a quick summary. To lock these into your memory, let's review our 5 golden rules. Soak your dried chickpeas overnight or rinse your canned ones thoroughly. Cook them until they are completely soft and easy to mash. Pair them with vitamin C to supercharge your iron absorption. Keep your daily portion to a modest half cup to protect your digestion. Rotate your recipes so your nutrition remains a joyful experience. Incorporate these 5 simple habits, and this remarkable legume will safely support your strength and mobility for decades to come. But while we've focused heavily on how to optimize this food, there is one final, critical group of people we need to address. Because for certain individuals, chickpeas can actually do more harm than good. In our next and final chapter, we are going to discuss exactly who should avoid chickpeas entirely, and when extra medical caution is required. Stay with me, because this upcoming medical warning might be the most crucial information in the entire video. Chapter 8: Who should be careful with chickpeas? 3 important situations to know. Now, before we go any further, there is a vital medical warning I must share with you. While chickpeas are undeniably a nutrient-dense powerhouse for the vast majority of people, they are not a universal cure-all. In fact, for certain individuals, overconsuming this specific legume can place a dangerous, unexpected burden on the organs. If any of the following 3 medical situations apply to you or a loved one in your family, please turn up your volume and pay very close attention. These are the 3 groups who must consult their primary care physician before adding chickpeas to their daily diet. 1. Individuals with chronic kidney disease (CKD) or reduced kidney function. First and foremost, anyone managing chronic kidney disease or any stage of declining kidney health needs to be extremely cautious. Chickpeas are exceptionally high in potassium. For a healthy adult, potassium is a magnificent mineral that relaxes blood vessels and regulates blood pressure. However, when your kidneys are compromised, they lose the ability to filter out excess potassium from your bloodstream. When potassium levels spike silently in the blood, a dangerous medical condition called hyperkalemia, it can directly disrupt your heart's cardiac rhythm and lead to sudden, severe complications. I distinctly recall a patient of mine in his late 60s who was living with stage 3 kidney disease. After reading an article online claiming chickpeas were a superfood, he began eating a massive bowl of them every single day, without mentioning it to his care team. Within 2 weeks, he rushed to the emergency room, experiencing frightening heart palpitations, a racing pulse, and sudden shortness of breath. His blood potassium levels were critically elevated. Let this story be a serious reminder if you have a history of kidney issues, or if your lab work shows an eGFR level below 60. You must strictly monitor your high potassium foods. Please talk to your nephrologist or doctor before increasing your chickpea intake. 2. Those hurting from gout or elevated uric acid levels. The second group includes anyone living with the agonizing pain of gout or high uric acid. Chickpeas contain moderate to high levels of natural, organic compounds called purines. When your body breaks down purines, the byproduct is uric acid. For most people, the body eliminates this smoothly. But for those prone to gout, a heavy intake of purines causes uric acid crystals to deposit into the joints, triggering a painful inflammatory response. I remember another gentleman in his 70s who loved the convenience of chickpea hummus so much that he slathered it onto almost every meal. Unfortunately, his long-dormant gout returned with a vengeance, leading to an excruciating flare-up and severe, burning swelling in his big toe. If you have a history of gout, moderation isn't just a suggestion, it is mandatory to protect your mobility. 3. Individuals with a highly sensitive gut or irritable bowel syndrome (IBS). Finally, those with delicate or easily irritated digestive tracts need to tread lightly, because chickpeas are so heavily loaded with complex starches and dense dietary fiber. They are wonderful for feeding your gut microbiome. But if your stomach or intestines are naturally sensitive, introducing a large portion all at once acts like a shock to your system, resulting in painful cramping, severe bloating, and embarrassing gas. One female patient in her mid-60s came to me, completely exhausted because a large serving of chickpeas at dinner caused such intense abdominal distension and bloating. that she couldn't sleep through the night. If your digestion is temperamental, please start slow. A single tablespoon or 2 per day is more than enough in the beginning. Give your digestive enzymes 2 to 3 weeks to naturally adapt, before gradually increasing the portion. And as always, ensure they are cooked until they are completely soft. Undercooked legumes are a sensitive stomach's worst nightmare. A simple rule to remember. What is the ultimate takeaway here? Chickpeas are a beautiful, healthy food for millions, but no single ingredient on earth fits every single human biology perfectly. Just like a piece of clothing needs to fit your frame comfortably, your food choices must tailor perfectly to your unique, individual health markers. The goal of longevity isn't to mindlessly consume every healthy food you see on the internet. The true secret is choosing the exact foods that are right for your body today. That is the true essence of healthy aging. Now that we understand how to navigate these warnings safely, let's pivot to something incredibly exciting. In our next and final chapter, I am going to map out a practical, senior-friendly, 1-week meal plan, so you can seamlessly and safely integrate these golden combinations into your life. Let's look at your roadmap to vitality. Chapter 9. A simple 7-day chickpea plan anyone can follow. Now we've reached what is arguably the most practical and exciting part of today's video. Your simple, step-by-step, 1-week roadmap. Whenever people hear about the incredible benefits of certain whole foods, they often think, "That sounds wonderful, doctor. But where on earth do I even begin?" The beautiful news is that you don't have to completely overhaul your kitchen overnight. True longevity is built on tiny, effortless steps, and that is exactly what we are going to map out right now. Monday. Prepare for success. On Monday, keep it simple. During your routine trip to the grocery store, pick up just a few foundational basics. All you need to start is a bag of dried chickpeas and a jar of black sesame seeds. That's it. When you get home, take 5 minutes to place a portion of the chickpeas in a large bowl of cold water and let them soak overnight in your refrigerator. Note, if you prefer the ultimate convenience of canned chickpeas, you can completely skip this soaking step and jump right into the meal plan starting on Wednesday. Tuesday. Cook and store. On Tuesday, drain your soaked chickpeas and simmer them until they are pillowy, soft and tender. Again, if you have an instant pot or a pressure cooker, this process is incredibly fast. Once they pass the finger mash test, let them cool. Divide them into a few convenient portions and seal them in airtight containers in your refrigerator. Now, you have your primary longevity ingredient, fully prepped and ready to go for the week. Wednesday. Support your bones. For breakfast or a morning snack, scoop out a half cup of your cooked chickpeas and top them with a generous tablespoon of ground, roasted black sesame seeds. As we learned, this simple duo delivers a beautiful harmony of clean plant protein, highly absorbable calcium, and magnesium to protect your bone density. It's warm, nutty, and takes less than 60 seconds to assemble. Thursday. Focus on heart health. Today, let's nourish your cardiovascular system. Toss a generous handful of fresh spinach and a half cup of your prepped chickpeas into a pot. You can turn this into a comforting soup or a warm skillet side dish, lightly sautéed in extra virgin olive oil and fresh garlic. This brings together active dietary fiber, iron, and vessel-relaxing nitrates to give your heart and circulation a beautiful boost. Friday. Nourish your gut. Today is all about soothing your digestive foundation. Mix your half cup of chickpeas into a cup of rich, unsweetened Greek yogurt for a splash of natural sweetness and an extra punch of antioxidants. Toss in a handful of fresh blueberries or a few slices of banana. The powerful prebiotic fiber from the chickpeas, combined with the live probiotics in the Greek yogurt, will work in tandem to eliminate bloating and revitalize your gut microbiome. Saturday. The fresh longevity salad. For a light lunch or dinner, let's make a vibrant, colorful chickpea salad. Combine your cooked chickpeas with diced cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, and red onions. Drizzle a splash of extra virgin olive oil and finish it with a generous squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The vitamin C from the lemon will unlock the hidden plant-based iron in the chickpeas, skyrocketing your body's nutrient absorption. Sunday. A comforting family meal. Weekends are a beautiful time to slow down and gather with those we love. Consider simmering a large, warm pot of rustic chickpea soup, filled with sweet potatoes, carrots, celery, and your favorite herbs. It is deeply comforting, incredibly easy to prepare, and a meal the entire family can enjoy. Healthy habits become infinitely more meaningful when they are shared around a table with the people we love most. Take a moment to reflect. At the end of these 7 days, I want you to take a brief moment to sit quietly and notice how your body feels. Has your digestion softened and become more comfortable? Do you feel a more sustained, steady stream of energy after your meals? Are you enjoying the simple peace of mind that comes from making intentional choices for your health? Please remember, healthy aging is never about achieving flawless perfection. It is entirely about small, gentle consistency. Your simple grocery list. To make things as easy as possible, here is your definitive checklist for your next grocery trip. 1 bag of dried chickpeas or low-sodium cans. Roasted black sesame seeds. Fresh baby spinach. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Fresh tomatoes, cucumbers, and onions. Fresh lemons. Extra virgin olive oil. Optional longevity fruits, blueberries or bananas. These are basic, everyday whole foods, widely available in any grocery store across North America. You don't need to waste your hard-earned money on synthetic supplements or overhyped specialty products. Often, the absolute best investments in our longevity are the simplest ones sitting right on our kitchen counters. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to The Age of 100, and share this with a friend or family member who wants to stay strong and independent. I'd love to hear from you. Which of the 3 golden combinations are you going to try first this week? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in our next video. Stay strong, stay independent, and protect your health. Conclusion. Simple habits, massive rewards. Dr. On said, "Well, my friends, we've covered quite a journey together today. What started as a simple conversation about a tiny legume on your kitchen counter turned out to be a profound blueprint for your longevity. We've talked about the 3 powerful food combinations, exposed the 4 hidden mistakes to avoid, shared 5 practical habits for preparation, and even looked at the 3 critical medical situations where extra caution is completely non-negotiable." Dr. On said, "Let's finish our journey today by reviewing the most critical points to take with you to your kitchen." First, chickpeas can be a beautiful, valuable asset to your daily meals, providing the exact nutrients your body craves to support bone density, heart health, and overall vitality. Second, remember our 3 golden combinations. Pair them with black sesame seeds for bone support. Enjoy them alongside vitamin C-rich foods like spinach, cherry tomatoes, or fresh lemon juice for your cardiovascular pathways, and mix them with plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt to naturally nourish your gut microbiome. Third, eliminate the hidden mistakes. Stay far away from undercooked chickpeas. Avoid eating excessive amounts all at once. Throw out old or spoiled beans, and don't fall into the trap of buying highly processed, salty snacks masked as healthy chickpea products. Fourth, practice our 5 simple kitchen habits. Soak them overnight in the refrigerator. Cook them until they pass the finger mash test. Create food synergy with vitamin C. Keep your daily portion to a modest half cup. And most importantly, find recipes that you genuinely look forward to eating. And finally, remember that biology is never one size fits all. If you are managing chronic kidney disease, especially with an eGFR below 60, or dealing with agonizing gout, or an incredibly sensitive digestive tract, it is always a wise, responsible choice to discuss these dietary shifts with your primary care provider first. Dr. On said, "Over the years, I've learned a profound truth in my medical practice. True health and longevity rarely come from a single miracle food or an expensive bottle of supplements. Instead, it grows quietly from simple, daily, and intentional choices repeated with patience and gentle consistency." Dr. On said, "Our generation spent the vast majority of our lives caring for everyone else. We worked long hours. We raised families. We made heavy sacrifices. For decades, we naturally put the needs of our children, our spouses, and our communities completely ahead of our own well-being. But healthy aging in this beautiful chapter of your life isn't about desperately trying to turn back the clock. It is about finally giving yourself the premier care, respect, and love you have fully earned. And the beautiful news is that it is never, ever too late to start. Dr. On said, sometimes the most meaningful transformations begin with something as simple as choosing cleaner, whole foods and building small, effortless routines that fit naturally into your everyday life. Because at the end of the day, that is what allows you to enjoy a peaceful, pain-free walk with your grandchildren. That is what gives you the boundless energy to spend quality time with lifelong friends, and simply allows you to feel strong, comfortable, and completely independent in your own home. Those are the milestones that truly matter in life. Dr. On said, if you found today's video helpful, I hope you'll consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and joining our The Age of 100 Inches community. And if you know someone, a friend, a neighbor, or a family member who might benefit from this information, please share it with them. After all, good health is something worth sharing. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today. I truly appreciate your trust. Take excellent care of yourselves, keep moving, keep smiling, and may you continue enjoying many healthy, vibrant, and active years ahead. Until next time, stay well, and I will see you again in our next video.